Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Thank you for watching. And briefly, I wanted to discuss a certain scenario. When I get to the end of it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And this isn't historically accurate, it's hypothetical. I have some friends that live in other countries. For all practical purposes, let's say the country, going 20 years back, I called and reached out to a friend of mine who lived in Iraq, a country a lot of you like to hate. And the person I spoke to, I've really been keeping up on the news with them, and I said, how are things going? Because not too long ago, they had an incident where a bunch of protesters stormed the building where their president sits, and they said, yeah, they tried to take over, but they were stopped, and the former leader in charge, who was overthrown, was charged with insurrection, and it turns out he committed a whole bunch of other crimes. So I would say, well, that's probably good because, he's trying to run for re-election. But at the same time, I'm thinking, yeah, but with all these criminal charges and indictments and everything, wouldn't that disqualify him? And she would say to me, no, not really. He's still out to run to be in charge again. And I would pause, thinking like, well, how would that happen? I mean, he could potentially get convicted, right? And that would really disqualify him. And she would say, not necessarily. There's nothing in our rules saying that the person who is being criminally charged or indicted can't still run for office. I mean, you have other restrictions for people with questionable behavior, who have a conviction on their record and stuff like that, as far as like voting, getting jobs like that in our country. But in their country, it's nothing like that. And let's really go to the extreme. Let's say he wins the election, but gets convicted. Now he's in prison. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how does he run the country then, if he's in jail? And they're like, I'm not sure. And I'm like, and the majority of the people voted for him. He won the majority. And she would be like, evidently so. And I'd be thinking to myself, well, why would the majority of people support a criminal? And she'd just be like, some of them still believe he can do a good job. And there would be like this really long pause on the phone where I'd just be sitting there like, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, how is this even possible? You would think somebody with a criminal past or who was recently convicted wouldn't be able to be the head of the country, but I guess in some twisted way, they seem, majority of the people, or a good amount of the people there, seem okay with it. I think you see where I'm going with this, right? Cut to the present, where they did interviews with Donald Trump, who was recently indicted on the whole how he handled confidential and top secret documents. That trial is still pending. I don't know how it's going to play itself out, but that there are still supporters out there, people of the MAGA cult, who are like, yeah, I still support him, I don't buy into it. Yes, I would still vote for him. And it's like, well, what if you're in jail? Like, you would want Donald Trump in prison, running the country? Evidently, some of these people would, and I can't wrap my head around it. I really can't. I seriously got to believe that there's some rule or something in the Constitution that would disqualify a candidate if, it is proven he has broken the law. That, we don't want a convicted felon running the country. That we do want to uphold a certain degree of integrity within Congress, within our leadership. But I'm not going to speculate on the future or the trial. I'm just kind of watching how things play out. It's just amazingly we've come to this point, and that there are some people that still just won't accept reality. We just can't let this guy go. It's this cult-like state mentality that's got them, and they don't seem to have any desire to want to break away from it. So anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.